Hi, how are y'all doing today? Good, I hope. And it feels so great to have y'all here on my channel today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sammy, and I made this channel to share my experience of walking through this weird thing we call life, and perhaps so you could walk with me too. It feels strange. Through the internet, our world is now more connected than ever, and yet we can still feel a strong sense of spiritual isolation. Why is that, I wonder? We are now living in a world that has made amazing feats in technology and the construction of empires as well. Our ability to access a variety of different topics and knowledge has proven to be a wonderful marvel that has been the driving factor for a widespread exponential growth and innovation. One thing I am beginning to learn in this journey of discovery is that while we have made amazing progress, each and every one of us must still face our human condition, meaning we are all shaped by our experiences, the differing and contrasting experiences of each and every one of our lives. That means our pain, our trauma, our grief. All of these are an inevitable and essential part of what it means to be truly human. And our strength is measured by the ability to perform well under the pressure of that pain. Many of us walk about our daily lives without questioning why we are living in this particular reality. There are many who have succumbed to the necessity for survival that they do not have the luxury of seeing the world through a different lens, other than the one that will keep them alive. To those of us who have built up our strength and have had the privilege of experiencing the grasp of our full potential as humans through safety, we have a responsibility to positively impact those around us. This is what changes the world and gives us a greater sense of purpose beyond the daily routine of the work, eat, and sleep cycle. There is more to life. There is always more to life. We live in an ever-expansive and wildly infinite universe with countless possibilities of what could be constructed, what could be nurtured, as well as what could be discovered. Remaining positive and peaceful is no easy task in itself. We live in a world that raises constant struggles and challenges that are meant to bring out our darkest parts. Sometimes we can win these challenges by choosing to be strong and rise above. However, there are times where we fall into despair and set ourselves up to lose. Everything that we live through is an essential part to what makes this life worth living. Without the depths of pain, we would not be able to rise into the heights of our victories. Without the darkness of grief, we would not be able to appreciate the light that comes from connecting with others. Every aspect that we may feel shame or guilt about is an integral part of our learning network that creates the meaning behind our experiences. These emotions, the ones that instill darkness in us, are not necessarily a bad thing. They are signals pointing towards the necessity for change. Most of us have become resistant to change because we have grown accustomed and comfortable with this cycle that has been imposed upon us. With facing the discomfort of change, we make way for true progress and innovation. Our efforts are no longer centered on merely surviving, but creating a world that is worth living for. In the face of destruction, when we choose to create a unity and harmony between us despite all of our differences, is when we can actively rebuild into something stronger, more fortified than before. Strength requires adaptability, restraint, and the ability to learn new information, even when it is contradictory to what we have learned our entire lives. I have had my fair share of pain in this life, as I am sure that you have as well, and I am convinced that the suffering is not a liability, but rather a catalyst for not only the development of our character, but the expansion of our mentality, driving us into a deeper purpose. All of us hold a reservoir of strength, and it goes deeper than we could imagine, and our access to it is closer than we know. It only becomes a matter of being willing to open our eyes to the true power that we hold within ourselves. Each of us has an infinite universe that lays behind our eyes, just waiting to be explored and developed. And even though we may not be able to see it in a physical sense, we are all bound and connected by this network, this grid of energy that is constantly drawing us together. You know, it's funny, I never imagined reaching the heights that I have had the pleasure of being able to reach. However, it didn't come without multiple sacrifices and dedicated discipline. It took letting go of the concept of who I thought I was, what I was told I should be. It took letting all of that go in order to become someone who had the potential to be anything. In this sense, if you are determined to change or to create a better life for yourself, you will always find a way. The paths are infinite, and we stop being blind to them when we truly realize and wake up to not only who we are, but also who we could be. We cannot always control which challenges manifest themselves into our path. However, there is a certain beauty that comes from realizing the power we hold and deciding how those circumstances will shape us and reveal who we really are to ourselves. Our story is our greatest asset when we decide to let it build us rather than letting it destroy us. Well, that's all I have for right now. Thank y'all so much for making it to this part of the video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for the future videos coming up. Thank y'all so much again. Wishing y'all a wonderful day, and this is Sammy signing off.